Was shot 7 times and is in critical condition. The female guard is still in jail tonight on a $250,000 bond. Rachel Hanley takes us through the latest.
A busy spot downtown in the daytime, pierced by gunfire. Saturday evening, a bystander took this video. It appears to show a man throwing objects at 23-year-old Kia Simmons as she stood guard outside the main library downtown. He begins to run away, and Simmons pulls out her gun and starts firing. She kept firing as he ran across Tulane Avenue. This Tulane police car was parked across the street whenever the shooting happened. There's one bullet hole right here and 2 more farther back. This one, we can tell, actually went all the way through to the other side of the car. When officers got there, they found the man bleeding from 7 gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Saturday night, police arrested Simmons. According to our partners at the Times-Picayune New Orleans Advocate, Simmons told police the man had been acting aggressively and threw a brick at her. Her lawyer said Simmons saw him reach into his pocket as he ran, and she was afraid he was pulling out a gun. Loyola law professor Dane Ciolino thinks self-defense will still be a tough sell.
The assailant was lunging at the shooter with a deadly weapon or even whatever the object was that he threw at her. Had he been running toward her with that and preparing it to throw at her, the case for self-defense would be more compelling.
He says she'll have to prove she used a reasonable amount of force to keep the man from harming her. He also thinks the video itself will hurt her case.
Prosecutors initially, police, and perhaps one day jurors are going to get to see exactly what happened.
As of Sunday night, Simmons was being held at the Orleans Justice Center on a more than $280,000 bond.
So, from what I gathered, and this is the full story too, because I've seen 8 stories of this, plus being able to see the raw footage. But I'm going to go with the raw footage here. What happened, which led to that point, was the suspect hit Kia. I forgot her last name. Well, the suspect hit the security guard. Then he fled out the library down the stairs, and by the time he got to the block, he threw a brick at her, which prompted her to pull out her gun and shoot the suspect while he was fleeing 7 times. The security guard then walks further down the sidewalk and persists on shooting 4 more shots. Right, 4 more shots, even though there were vehicles and civilians all nearby. Now, before I even did this story, I decided, you know what, before I even make a video about this, I'm going to talk to any and every security official around my area. And there are security nearby where I stay at. From bars to businesses, what may have you. I let them see the footage. And they all gave me my opinion on it. Well, so far, the security guard, Kia, has been arrested and detained. The suspect fleeing from her as she was opening firing is in the hospital with 7 gunshot wounds in critical condition. Damn. I know Tupac was shot 5 times and still survived this. But this dude survived 7 shots. Dude's a trooper. But anyway, the security guard claims that it's self-defense. But as I showed all the each and every security personnel nearby, they saying a different thing. For starters, they didn't see everything that happened from the moment she got hit at the library to the point where she started open firing at him. What's more, what's more, for one of the security guards that I talked to who works occupying a local business, he tells me that first off, as far as I've seen, he threw a brick at her. That can be a that she could easily dodge that. She could easily dodge that bullet, not bullet, that rock, or shall I say brick. And by the time she pulled out, and while she's putting out her gun, the suspect is fleeing. It's one thing. It's one thing where he's lunging forth, reaching for something in his pocket. That would be a good case for self defense. But after he thrown the brick, he ran in the opposite direction. Right, right when the security guard was open firing on him, which of course that's gonna be difficult. That's gonna be difficult to prove that it was self defense, especially when especially when he didn't launch forward. He didn't have no type of he had no type of deadly weapon or anything that could that could physically harm the security guard besides the brick. In order for her to say that it's self defense, she's got an uphill battle. And this is coming from one of the security guards that I showed the footage to. But things really start to get strange when I saw Willie D. Live's video on the matter. And yes, I'll put a link to his video in the description box. Shout out to Willie D. Live. But check this out. Willie D. point out something that was just completely disturbing. The mugshot of they have shown a mugshot of the security guard just straight up smiling, as if it was like the message. The message through that mugshot she was giving out is she enjoyed every last bullet of it. But of course, another security guard said that even if he threw a brick, all you have to do is just shoot him one time, and you don't have to shoot the. And no, you don't have to shoot to kill. Shoot to disable him. Shoot to decapitate him. Make him immobile. Make him immobile until the authorities arrive, in which, surprisingly enough, they were across the street. But seven rounds and then an additional 4, that's a full clip. It was like she intended to kill him. In which deadly force was, I ain't gonna lie, deadly force was not necessary when it came in this situation. Now, she did say that he was reaching for something as he was running, but it's clear to see that the video footage did not catch that, which is going to be hard to believe. But yeah, I'll talk more on this matter as more information comes out. But I had to address this situation right here. But nevertheless, I said what I had to say. The link to Willie D's live video will be in the description box. Go check that out for further information. I said what I had to say. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.